A very warm welcome to the next part of the special series on the factors affecting the Indian monsoons. Let's analyze the effect of the Indian Ocean Dipole on the summer monsoons of India. In order to understand that, first let's understand what is the Indian Ocean Dipole. Normally, when we talk about a dipole, we are talking about two contrasting situations. Similarly, when the temperature of the surface water of the northwestern part of the Indian Ocean, basically the Arabian Sea part, it is above normal and we find below normal temperatures in the Bay of Bengal region, we call that as a positive Indian Ocean dipole. Now, why is it called a positive? Because like I mentioned in the earlier parts, there are certain parts on the oceans whose surface temperature we are interested in. Like we are interested in a particular stretch of the Pacific Ocean for referring to El Nino or La Nina, that is covered in detail in the earlier part. Similarly, in the Indian Ocean, we are concerned with the temperature of surface water in this part of the Indian Ocean. If the temperature in this part of the Indian Ocean of the surface water is above normal, we call it as a positive phase because you plot a chart in the positive deviation. If the temperature in this part is below normal, we plot a chart as a negative, giving them the term positive IOD or negative IOD. How do these conditions actually initiate? Let's have a discussion. We are all aware that as the sun enters the northern hemisphere, so does the southeast trade winds. As the southeast trade winds enter the northern hemisphere, they enter the northern hemisphere as southwesterly winds. They push the north equatorial current from west to east. In summers, the motion of surface water in the North Indian Ocean is from west to east. Our entire motive is to understand what all factors are forcing the waters to move in the North Indian Ocean. This is the first factor, that during approaching summers, in summers, southeast trade winds enter the northern hemisphere, they push the surface water towards the east, therefore the north equatorial current is moving from west to east, pushing all the warm waters towards the Bay of Bengal. But in winters, the ITCZ is receding, the northeast trade winds re-establish themselves over the Indian Ocean, which is why all of the surface water, the north equatorial current, again shifts its direction and starts moving from east to west. Like mentioned even before, the north equatorial current seasonally reverses its direction. Now pay attention carefully. The warm waters on the surface of the Indian Ocean keep oscillating with seasons. There are many factors which affect where the warm water will accumulate. Like I have already mentioned in the earlier part as well, that in summers itself, by the time the ITCZ has not yet reached the Tropic of Cancer, the subtropical high pressure belt is present over here. The subtropical jet stream is present over here, over which we find strong anticyclonic circulations on the surface. These strong anticyclonic circulations do not allow all of this water to reach the Arabian Sea. So you can see that how many factors are affecting the distribution and accumulation of water in the Arabian Sea or the Bay of Bengal. Furthermore, when we talk about different teleconnections like El Nino, we have all analyzed this in the earlier parts, that during El Nino conditions, a very strong low pressure exists in the central East Pacific and a high pressure is created because of this body of upwelling of cold water. This body of upwelling of cold water creating this high pressure is a very strong divergent wind system. Divergent winds on the surface push winds offshore, the Indochina region, Indonesia region. All of this leads to offshore winds, or we can say stronger easterlies over the North Indian Ocean, pushing warm waters towards the Arabian Sea. In a sense, we can say El Nino favors the formation of positive Indian Ocean dipole. Likewise, when we talk about La Nina conditions, in La Nina conditions, all of this is the strong high pressure, all of this is the strong low pressure, which is a powerful convergent wind system, triggering offshore winds all the way, even from Somalia. Triggering all of this offshore winds, it allows the pooling up of warm water in the Bay of Bengal. Therefore, La Nina conditions end up favoring negative Indian Ocean dipole. So we can all see this thing. Many factors are deciding where the warm water will accumulate in the North Indian Ocean. Based upon that, we may have a positive IOD or a negative IOD. The cycle of El Nino and La Nina are from 2 to 7 years. Cycle of Indian Ocean dipole again 2 to 5 years because they have a lot of overlap. But what is the impact with the Indian monsoons? Like I have been stressing on in the previous parts, the factors that we have studied till now, they are affecting the intensity of surface winds. They are affecting the intensity of the surface winds of the monsoonal cell. But it is just one factor which actually decides whether it will rain or not. Faster winds alone will not lead to better rainfall. If there is a positive Indian Ocean dipole, meaning thereby if you have warm waters in the Arabian Sea, warmer than normal, all of that will trigger a very intense evaporation over this part of the Arabian Sea. The air will be full of moisture. Therefore, the monsoonal winds coming towards India will push a moisture laden air mass on India, leading to better monsoons. On the other hand, if the surface temperature of water is below normal, it is cold. Lesser evaporation will take place and the air mass present over here will contain lesser moisture, even if the surface winds are strong that year. Whatever air mass will be pushed over India as the monsoons will be devoid of moisture. This brings us to a conclusion that we associate La Nina with better monsoons. Why? Because it strengthens the masculine high, stronger winds. But even if you have La Nina conditions, if you have a negative IOD, that will not lead to good rainfall. So even La Nina conditions are not certain for good rainfall because IOD will decide the moisture. Negative IOD will provide lesser moisture. On the other hand, El Nino is said to be associated with poor monsoons. The correct statement is El Nino leads to a weaker masculine high, weaker winds. But those weaker winds will be compensated if you have a positive Indian Ocean dipole, because it is the positive Indian Ocean dipole which actually determines that intensity of moisture. Let's take the discussion ahead as to what was observed last year. Last year, we had a strong positive Indian Ocean dipole before Biparjoy, as you can clearly see it. You can clearly see it. But something was delayed last year. That was the easterly jet stream. Since the easterly jet stream was not present even till June last year, mid of June, Biparjoy was able to form. It continued till almost the end of June. This was the situation before Biparjoy. El Nino was developing, but we had a strong positive Indian Ocean dipole, meaning thereby weaker El Nino means that the surface monsoonal winds were not that weak and we had a strong positive Indian Ocean dipole. Therefore, rainfall could have been great on the west coast. But Biparjoy was formed because of late formation of the subtropical easterly jet stream, which destroyed the positive Indian Ocean dipole and it added a lot of cold water in this area. All the moisture was removed. So tropical cyclones came to destroy the positive Indian Ocean dipole, depleting the moisture in this air mass. It is a very well interlinked concept of all these things interplaying together. So you have a very good idea as to what is the role of the Indian Ocean dipole as a factor affecting the Indian monsoons. This is all for this part. Stay tuned for further parts. Thank you so much.